The moment I stepped back into my childhood house felt like stepping into a ghost story. Sunlight slanted through the curtains, dust motes swirling in the air like forgotten memories. My family was sprawled across the living room, laughter and banter echoing from the corners, their voices a familiar, amusing backdrop to my quiet anxiety. But there was something different in this place today. Something heavier. My fingers brushed the edge of the chaise, remembering the show they'd once made me sit. They'd mocked my gaunt face, called my paintings discouraged, and spun the idea of healing magic like a joke. "You're wasting time," they'd said, their words sharp as a stapler. "People don't heal. They fix." Yet here I was standing in this place, the same house that once felt like a cage now remade. "Are you okay?" A voice broke the tension. It was my younger sister, Lila, her eyes wide with curiosity. I forced a smile, the kind that felt forced but necessary. "I'm fine, just thinking." Her brother Ethan leaned forward, his voice a mix of teasing and concern. "You know, Sarah, the new guy at work said quantum healing's all hype. But I saw him today, his hands moving. His hands natural, he's not just winking at folks behind a fake smile." Ethan's words struck a chord. I hadn't forgotten. The memory of their laughter laced with condescension. STILL Chinese letter my mind. But today, something shifted. I closed my eyes and the chaos of their words faded. I pictured the quantum therapy labs, the equations dancing in my brain, the pulse of energy balancing like a tightrope over a chasm. It wasn't magic, it was science. But it was their science. Their theories, their dismissals, their need to control. Then I saw them. The family gathered in the kitchen, the table set with the same food they'd always ate when I was little. But today their expressions weren't skeptical, they were expectant. Lila leaned forward, her usual mischief replaced by something softer. "So, how's it going?" she asked. I took a breath. "It's different," I said. "The therapy isn't just about treating symptoms. It's about healing the roots, about people who feel alone." The room went silent. Lila's eyes narrowed, her jaw tightening. "Is that real?" Ethan chuckled, but it didn't reach his eyes. Then Ethan spoke first, his voice gentler now. "Our grandpa used to tell me stories about how the earth really does heal when you believe in it. Maybe we're just tired of being told we're not enough." The words hit like a wave. My chest tightened. I had spent years chasing this dream, this art, this healing, while they had called it a waste of time. Now here I was, standing in the center of their lives, shoulders squared. I opened my mouth, but no words came. Instead, I turned to Lila. "You know," I said, my voice steadier than I felt, "I once saw someone like you and you didn't care about what others thought. You just did. That's the point." Lila's smile was small, but it broke the ice. Then Ethan spoke up again, his tone shifting. "I used to hate the way you looked at my friends. 'You're wasting your life,' they'd say, but now I see you. You're making something valuable." My sister stepped forward, her gaze steady. "My dad used to say, 'Embarrassments are just proof you had something worthwhile.' Maybe this is it." The silence that followed was thick with unspoken truths. My family wasn't just witnessing a secret, it was witnessing a transformation. A reckoning. The old shame was still there, but under it something new was forming. Understanding, something earned not with grand gestures but with quiet, relentless effort. I remembered the night I'd stolen the thesis, the night I'd been beaten for thinking too much. But I'd never told them what I'd done. Had I failed them? Or had they simply failed to see? The truth was, I'd always understood the fracture. My work wasn't a joke, it was a genuine attempt to heal. And though their eyes still twitched with the old doubt, I knew this wasn't about the past. It was about the future. The scene hit me like a seismic shift. My family wasn't just a family anymore. They were a family who had been wronged, who had been taught to fear their own potential. And I had become their greatest act of defiance. A long silence stretched, then Lila sparked up, her usual happiness tinged with something sharper. "I've been thinking," she said, "about what we poor'd have done for ourselves if we'd let it happen sooner." Ethan's eyes softened. "Maybe we could have been there." I didn't respond immediately. Instead, I walked to the kitchen window and stared out at the garden I'd transformed. barren fields overtaken by wildflowers, streams flowing with life. The pain of their rejection had fueled me into something more than they'd ever imagined. That night I didn't sleep. The memories of mockery and dismissal closed in, but so did the weight of their eyes. I realized then they were wrong. I wasn't just a fraud. I was a survivor, a pioneer. And in the quiet of the morning, as the sun rose over the transformed landscape, I felt it, the weight of their disappointment and the gravity of their unexpected forgiveness. It wasn't the ending they'd expected. It wasn't the sweet resolution they'd anticipated. But it was something far more powerful, a reckoning that had taught me that karma doesn't always follow the obvious script. Sometimes it's a storm that reshapes the ground. I had been an embarrassment, a failed project, a thief of ideas. But I was also a healer, and in doing so I had finally found my place in this world. The family was still there. The pain was never gone, but it had changed. It had become a bridge, not between past and present, but between regret and redemption. And as I looked out at the gardens I'd built, I knew one thing. No one could ever erase what I'd become. Not the mockery, not the doubt, but the light I'd brought back. After all, perfection isn't about never being doubted. It's about never letting doubt define you. And for me, that was the greatest quantum shift of all.